This video is supported in part by Retro Days, a place for nostalgia nerds to gather, share memories, chat, and engage. Go to retrodays.com or check their YouTube channel linked below. I don't even know where to start. Look, this thing says it's Defender, and it's not. I'll break it down for you.
Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John. I am a GenX Grown-Up. Thank you for checking out this video and the rest of the channel. Last year, we brought you a video where we took the Basic Fun Arcade Classics Joust tabletop toy machine arcade thing, and with a little bit of tinkering and soldering, we turned it into a Defender because the Defender game was on the board. I'll throw a link to that video up in the corner if you'd like to take a look at that. But even during that video, I noticed something very suspect about the version of Defender we unlocked.
Wait. This is Stargate. There's no warp like that in Defender.
But I figured, hey, this isn't released, it wasn't advertised as Defender, we kind of tweaked it. This was never meant for the general public to see, so I just kind of brushed it off as like something that was a work in progress and patiently waited for the official release of Defender to hit the markets. And I had pretty high hopes for Defender based on the trajectory that Basic Fun was taking with these machines at the end of 2019. We got that Pac-Man number 14 that was a complete rewrite. It was pretty darn good. We got a rewrite of Galaga. They're not just doing NES on a chip anymore, it seems. But then 2020 kind of started with a little bit of a misfire. We had that Spy Hunter, put a link to that video up in the corner, where you enable power-ups and it cripples the play. That wasn't good. But okay, Defender is coming, and I was eager to get it, and ta-da! Here it is, Defender number 17 in the Arcade Classics line from Basic Fun. However, all was not right from the beginning. Through the miracle of pushing the demo button through the hole in the box, I was able, even before purchasing this, to realize that something was amiss. It seemed like what was in here was actually exactly what we'd unlocked in Joust. Nothing had really changed. It was during the course of some discussions over on the Basic Fun fan group in Facebook that someone asserted, hey, I think the Defender that they're releasing now is actually the NES ROM. And I vehemently denied. I said, I don't think Defender was ever released for NES, so that's impossible. And I was starting down the path of defending this and saying, no, it's a rewrite or something. And then I realized, oh no, Stargate was released for NES under the name of Defender 2. And take a look. You'll see in a minute when we take a look at this that it isn't quite right. And it's not for the reason that I usually kind of rail on, that like, oh, it's not the arcade ROM. A port is okay if it's a faithful port, and Basic Fun was starting to do those things, but it is an NES ROM, and it is a port of the wrong game. It's Stargate in Defender's labeling and clothing, and that is absolutely bait and switch that we should not stand for. I'm going to show you, we're going to take a look at the table, but before we do that, if this is your first time watching GenXGrownUp, I would ask you to look for the little bar that lifts, click that subscribe button in the corner, make it easy to find way more GenX-inspired videos just like this one. All right, you ready for some Stargate, whatever the hell this is? Yeah, let's find out. Despite knowing what I know about what's inside, let's take a look at what you do get. So number 17, Arcade Classics. Now this is, I might say, of the new design, one of the least inspired of the box arts. Description on the back, just largely black with the Defender logo. Of course, you can peek through and see what you've got inside. So let's crack it open though and look at the cabinet. Yeah, more of what we have come to expect from Basic Fun. I mean, the same form factor, again, side art, batteries are included. Let's get out of demo mode so we can actually play the game in a second here. Reset button, no way to charge, no way to power externally. A single speaker here and a fake speaker there, power on, off, and a volume toggle. The controls, pretty interesting what it looks like here. So we have a game start and pause, I'm going to assume. We have a joystick with the plastic restrictor plate and smart bomb and fire, and you might see there it says hold for hyperspace. All right, so we have the function of at least 3 buttons here, plus thrust and reverse, so that's 4 or 5 buttons you got there. From what Defender had was about 100 buttons, as you might recall. The artwork is pretty faithful, I would say. I mean, we always talk about the fact that Basic Fun is a little squished, so it's a little kind of abbreviated, but it has, the kind of the red, yellow, and black with the spaceman with the rocket pack that you would have seen on the original cabinet. But there's no more putting it off. We've got to get into the gameplay and find out the real Achilles heel of this Defender. Okay, power on. Let's crank it up. Yeah, Midway, classic arcade game, Defender, Division of Basic Fun. So far, so good, you would think, but we already know better. So let's get the game going. Yep. Why is that not Defender music? Well, I think we all know why it's not Defender music. By the way, it's not Stargate music either, I should point out. It is some generic NES music that came on lots of different games. Punch-Out, Defender 2/Stargate, but not Defender. Look at that! And there, speaking of Stargate, look at that just unavoidable Stargate that is... Yeah, let's hop through the Stargate, of course. In fairness, let me stop complaining for a second and talk about what's good here. So, it's a decent version of Stargate, I will point out. Plays pretty well. I mean, controls are decent. You got that kind of crazy, super fast action stuff going on, the reverse and the whip pan when you turn your ship around and somebody's chasing you. All that is cool. Let's try a smart bomb, by the way. I haven't done that. Yeah, yay, smart bomb. Oh, there's a Fred, all part of Stargate. Yeah. Whoa, watch out. Freds or big reds or whatever they are. Yeah, so, so hold down for hyperspace. Okay. How long do I have to hold down for hyperspace? Really? So they printed hyperspace on the button and it doesn't even hyperspace. It's like playing Defender, in as much as playing Stargate is like playing Defender. You know, it's crazy that the Inviso section of Stargate is just not present here because there's not a button for it. So it's like they took it out, but there's just no way to do it. I'm sure Inviso is a thing because it's part of Stargate. It's just not present. Hyperspace is crippled. I can shoot. I can use the Stargate. There's all these undocumented aliens that are not in the manual. It's because they were Defender, not Stargate. Oh, how many times can I say Defender/Stargate in this video? It just, I mean, I know it's getting old, and, okay, I think we have seen enough to know what we've got here. Come on now, Basic Fun. Really? Seriously? You were doing so well for a while there, but then you want to fall back in your old ways of using NES on a chip because it's easier. Okay, but is that ease worth passing off the wrong game mislabeled as something that it absolutely isn't? Look, one of two things is happening here, and neither one of them is good. Either Basic Fun knows exactly what they're doing, and they just threw some crap into a Defender cabinet because all they had was Stargate, and they figured you, the video game arcade cabinet collector enthusiast, would not notice or care or put up a fight. Or they're clueless and don't realize there's a difference between Defender and Stargate. And that's pretty bad for someone who's kind of the custodian and gatekeeper of what machines we're going to get in our collection. Basic Fun, call me. I will tell you if you have a question about classic arcade games. We can get you straightened out so this doesn't happen again. Defender and Stargate are decidedly different games. They have a different name, different rules, different mechanics, different aliens, different scoring. Yeah, also, and there's a f***ing Stargate in Stargate that doesn't exist in Defender. It's just too insulting, and just, I cannot believe that they would put the wrong thing in the cabinet and think nobody would care, nobody would notice. Despite the pluses, the positives that are on this Defender machine, if it were labeled Stargate, it would be a totally different video and a totally different review and rating. But because they're trying to do this bait and switch and give us the wrong game in a cabinet and pass it off for something that it isn't, not Defender/Stargate from Basic Fun, I give you 1/2 of a token out of 5. This is frankly reprehensible behavior from a company that otherwise is putting out some fairly decent machines that we're all enjoying. You cannot just get money for nothing for putting in half the effort. It's not going to work that way. We've got to get better. And Defender doesn't even belong in your collection unless you're going to relabel it as Stargate. I hope you found something to enjoy in this video. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. GenXGrownUp is dedicated to bringing you new Generation X inspired videos every week. Here are a couple more you can watch right now, but for even more, subscribe and enable those notifications. And if you love what we do, we invite you to support us over on Patreon. And of course, your feedback in the comments and a quick thumbs up are always appreciated.